Hi everyone, we are here in Stockton, California, outside of Yosemite Foods, or what we are today calling the Yosemiteville Horror slaughterhouse after Amityville Horror. And this is a facility that receives pigs from Smithfield Foods, Circle 4 Farms in Utah, among other places. And 2,000 individuals are killed here every single day. 2,000 pigs are killed in this slaughterhouse every single day. And we're here right now in particular because it's the 2-year anniversary of a very groundbreaking mini documentary called Unseen, that you can watch at dxc.io/unseen, which took viewers inside this very slaughterhouse, this state-funded slaughterhouse, Yosemite Foods in Stockton, California. They received millions of dollars from the governor's office here in California to open this new slaughterhouse to kill 2,000 pigs here daily. I was thinking about Farmer John, an even bigger slaughterhouse in California that receives pigs from Smithfield Foods. But we're here at this facility today with over 20 activists. I haven't counted how many individuals are out here right now. And we have some music over here. Hope is playing some music. And soon we're going to be hearing from Raven Deerbrook via Zoom. She is the director of Unseen, the producer of that mini documentary, who helped bring viewers inside this facility and expose what's happening here, which I'll tell you more about. And we're going to hear more from her in the next 10 minutes or less. She'll be joining us, and we'll be getting a projector set up as well so that we can see her as it gets darker, and also hopefully project Unseen, the documentary, so that people can see what happens inside this facility. Not mean to do that. So please share this live stream if you can and help us reach more people while we're out here. We have some placards that say Right to Rescue. We're also doing this in coordination with elevating an upcoming trial in Utah for 2 DXC investigators, Wayne Shung and Paul Darwin Picklesheimer, who are facing felony charges and years in prison, all for documenting conditions inside a Smithfield facility in Utah that sends pigs to this slaughterhouse, and for rescuing 2 sick piglets from inside that facility. And now they're facing felony charges and years in prison and going to trial in September of this year, so very soon, just a couple months away, and we need as much help as we can get to elevate this important trial. And so we'll be doing some Twitter actions here to elevate the trial and everything while we're out here today. And one way you can help is sharing this live stream. I already see that Jane shared, so thank you so much, Jane, for sharing, and thank you to everyone who's watching, commenting, and helping us spread the message. Hopefully most of you have already seen the documentary Unseen, but if you have not seen it yet, please watch it. It's at dxc.io/unseen, and watch it with your friends or family members or anyone who you think needs to understand what's happening to animals when they go to be killed in this industry of animal agriculture. I don't think it looks that way to me. You can check. So I see a lot of people watching. Thank you so much, and we really appreciate you supporting. We have a large number of people out here tonight. We'll be out here until around 10 p.m. or so, and we are hoping that if we see any trucks coming in, we're able to stop them and bear witness to the pigs and give them some water on their way into the slaughterhouse, because like I said, some of the pigs are coming all the way from Utah, which is 700 miles from here, the Circle 4 Farms facility in Milford, Utah, where Smithfield sends pigs from, and that is a really long journey. It's been, a fairly warm day, especially out here in Stockton, and traveling from Utah. So, these animals come through the heat, through the cold at night, whatever the conditions, rain or shine, they're being driven here to be killed on a schedule, and their trucks are not temperature controlled. They're not being cared for in that way, or their well-being is not being taken into consideration. They're just being killed for profit. So of course that's the furthest thing from the minds of the operators of facilities like Yosemite Foods. And that's why we need to elevate what's happening, because a lot of people don't even realize that facilities like this one are here in their backyards, as they are all over the country and all over the world. We've talked to residents who live in Stockton who didn't know that this was a slaughterhouse here, and some of them even said that when they moved in, they didn't know that there was a slaughterhouse until they heard screaming at night, and they thought it was children screaming, and it turned out to be pigs. Children pigs, they're 6 months old, or they're still kids when they're killed, so they are children, but that's a really horrible way to find out you have a slaughterhouse near you. But also to elevate what's happening in the farms themselves and in the long journeys. A lot of people don't know that pigs are going over 700 miles or longer to their final destinations, and other animals as well. And the minimal laws that are on the books to protect some animals, like pigs, to require that they have stops for water or for exercise when they're being transported. Those laws don't even exist for chickens and turkeys and other birds. So really, these animals are experiencing torment and extreme fear on their way to being killed by people who are showing them no mercy, no care. They're incredibly vulnerable. They're experiencing incredible violence. And people are out here today to bear witness to that violent industry, that violent system at this very slaughterhouse, and also to potentially stop the trucks if they come in while we're here, if they don't reroute them, and to show any pigs that we're able to some compassion in a rare moment that is unlike anything else they experience in their lives, just to receive water from someone who cares, who says comforting words, to hear some music, and to see that people are showing them love and compassion, which is so rare for them. Pamela is saying it's so heartbreaking. I can't fathom how callous people are. It is absolutely a heartbreaking industry, and it's traumatic and sad for the individuals who work in these facilities as well. To have 2,000 pigs being killed here every day and to be so up close to that is certainly going to take a toll on anyone who has to witness that, let alone be a part of it and have the trauma of being a part of that just to make money in our society, just to make ends meet. So it's getting darker here, and our projector is getting set up. I'll back up and show you. And we're going to be hearing from Raven Deerbrook in just a few minutes on screen. We'll head over here so folks can gather up and see and listen to her talk more about the work that she did to expose this facility in the documentary Unseen, and what was found in that facility, which, in addition to horrific animal cruelty, included a lot of concerning disease risks that should be concerning to humans, even humans who don't care about non-human animals, who don't care about the suffering of other beings, because we know that factory farms and slaughterhouses are spreading diseases between non-human animals and human animals. We know that that's a huge disease risk, and in this facility right here, Raven's documentary exposed that there were infected parts of flesh being cut off of slaughtered pigs and being removed from them so that they could be sold as healthy. Just cutting away pieces of gross infected flesh and leaving it outside in dumpsters after throwing it away, where it could be where the contamination could be spread by wild birds or other wild animals. So posing a great risk to the disease being spread by intermingling with wildlife, in addition to just these products ending up at the store where people buy them all throughout California and elsewhere. There's also time-lapse footage in the documentary that shows multiple days of these dead pigs who have been dragged with sharp objects outside to be left there, and multiple days of them just being in the same position outside, daylight, nighttime, daylight, nighttime, daylight, and you see wild crows come and interact with them, land on their dead bodies and peck at their corpses and fly away. And that's exactly a perfect example of one way that diseases from these facilities can spread. And those You know, there's pigs being killed here all the way from Utah, 700 miles away, and then they get their diseased, sick flesh spread to grocery stores and businesses farther away even than that. So this documentary, besides showing the cruel conditions for the animals, really paints a picture of the way that diseases spread because of the animal agriculture industry. So I'm going to walk down the line again and show you all the folks out here and show you just how long this facility stretches on for. The other end is where the pigs are actually kept, and we've heard them screaming out here at vigils before and walked down. We can't necessarily see them inside, but we can hear the area. We can hear them screaming in that area all the way from the other end. So just looking through the gates, you can see how long this facility goes on. And right there, I'll just stop and show you, in the area that is more covered in mesh, black. That's where the pigs are being kept, that you can hear them screaming from. And then here is the slaughter facility. And you wouldn't even necessarily know it's a slaughterhouse if you read that Yosemite Foods. You might think this is a facility that processes any kind of food, maybe not even a violent facility at all, but just a facility that's processing and packaging some kind of snack food or something. But this is a massive slaughterhouse that kills 2,000 pigs every single day. 2,000 individuals lose their lives here. And we're out here doing what little we can right now just to bear witness to that, to take action, to not hide from their suffering, but to come and to do something to elevate it, to build community with others who share our values, and to take action together to try to help these animals and to expose the suffering that they go through to more people. Of course, they don't want us to be here, so they put up all these signs that say no trespassing, and this area is under 24-hour video surveillance. No flying of drones here. And they actually have one over here that I'll show you that's kind of silly, where they're saying that no photography is allowed, which is just not true. When we're here on public property, we can take photo and video, and they can't change the law around that. That's not how that law works. But they've put up that sign nonetheless, right here. So thank you for joining us and being part of our action online today. And if you haven't yet, please share the live stream and help us reach more people than we can reach just from passerby driving by on this street. We did put up this big sign that says slaughterhouse, and 2,000 individuals killed here every day. And I think for some people driving by on their way home from work or wherever, that might be the first time that they realize that this facility in their area is a slaughterhouse. But, you can help us spread this message a lot farther and help us get more eyes on this very powerful mini documentary, Unseen, that Raven Deerbrook produced, by sharing this, and also by sharing that with people in your life who you think would benefit from seeing it. It's once again, it's at dxe.io/unseen. And since then, that came out in 2020. It's been 2 years. This is the 2-year anniversary of the release of Unseen, actually. Raven has produced another powerful short documentary called Imperial Dust, which you can also view on Direct Action Everywhere's social media, YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, and everything, and also on our website as well. So if you've seen Unseen but you haven't seen Imperial Dust yet, I highly recommend that you watch both of those and share both of those investigation documentaries. I really think of it as a new genre. It's a mini documentary that takes you inside of a facility to expose that facility, and through investigatory footage that is released in the documentary, never before seen footage that exposes the world to an industry that's hiding in secrecy. It's really a powerful thing that Raven has been able to do, to tell this this story of what the pigs from Smithfield Circle 4 Farms are living through in their final moments when they end up here in this facility to be killed. And of course, we can't fully understand what they're going through, what they're living through, the kind of terror that they are feeling, but we can capture some of that experience on video and we can share it with the world. And that's a very powerful thing, and that's why they put up all these signs saying no cameras and no photography and all of that. And yet many activists out here today are taking photos, including Rocky right there, always on cameras, always on his phone, snapping the shots. And that's because we know how powerful it is to get this message out there with media production like that. And so whether they want us to or not, we're going to continue doing that. And we definitely ask for your continued support, sharing and elevating the investigations that DXE does, the stories that come out, the actions that we live stream. We really appreciate you joining us online. We will be heading to Utah, to this Circle 4 Farms, what we call Smithfield's Death Star, in September for the trial of Wayne Chung and Paul Darwin Picklesheimer, who investigated that facility in 2017 and documented piles of rotting piglets covered in their mother's feces and still covered in their mother's afterbirth. These mother pigs were in gestation crates barely bigger than their bodies, and that meant that they can't turn around, they can't move around, they can barely do anything except stand up and sit down and eat and sleep and defecate. And when they give birth, they're giving birth in the same small cage in the same area, in some cases, where they had peed and pooped and everything. And so, that's something that was found repeatedly in that facility, and it's horrific footage, and the court doesn't want the jury to be able to see it. And that's why it's so important that we show up to the court and we show up in mass in Utah to elevate this story and to make sure that the media and social media and the public is hearing about this and seeing this footage, even if the judge agrees with the prosecution and refuses to show it in court, which is what he has done at this point, has granted the motion from the prosecution to not allow any video footage or any evidence or discussion from the defendants of inhumane animal treatment at Smithfield, which is ridiculous because that is their whole case, is that they were there to document it and they rescued animals, and they did this alleged quote-unquote crime because they found animals in need. So by depriving them of their ability to talk about that, they're being deprived of their constitutional right to present a full defense. How can they present a defense without being allowed to even talk about their intent? They can't. And so we're working very hard to elevate that trial, and part of that is doing actions like this one here at Yosemite Foods, which is connected to Smithfield, and continuing to expose the footage that we have from facilities that abuse pigs from Smithfield. It just looks sideways for me. So we have Raven Deerbrook here, who's joining us on Zoom, and we're going to be able to hear from her more about the mini documentary Unseen. There's some security out here probably who are being told to watch us, or some employees, and
testing.
I'm glad that they get to, just observe us and hear our message and our music, and maybe think about what we're out here today to do, and why we care so much about these individuals that society has decided don't deserve to be cared about, don't deserve anything but the very worst treatment.
So creepy to see it.
If you all have any questions, I can answer them as well, so please feel free to comment any questions. I'm going to check the comments now. Thanks, Shiloh, for commenting that link. I didn't even mention it, but I should have, and I should have said not just we're going to Utah, but we would love for you to join us and as many people as possible to attend. So if you're interested in attending this groundbreaking trial and being a part of, hopefully, positive animal rights history, and possibly a negative moment that we really need to make it backfire, make the repression backfire together, then please register for the convergence at dxe.io/Utah sign up. we're all kind of shifting over here so that we can gather in front of the projector and hear from Raven. I'm going to stand up closer to the speaker a little bit so that you can hear her better.
Thanks for all your hard work. Thank you.
Uh-oh, they've been staring at me this whole time?
And just make sure that everybody stays out of the room.
Yeah. There we go. Because we need to
Did anybody have a question for Raven?
You want me to start?
Go ahead. We got this.
Okay. Can people see me? Hi. Alright, so I can't hear or see any of you, I think, but thank you so much for coming out here to Yosemite Foods, which is a slaughterhouse that was constructed in 2019. A lot of you have probably seen Unseen, which is a short film I made about this facility and the victims that are brought here every weekday, and it was very difficult to make that because I care a lot about these beings. I do see who they are, and they are just like us. They feel, they have emotions, they have needs, and the way they're treated is a crime. It's not just immoral, it's not just unjust, but it's a crime. And so when I saw this facility being built, I had to start looking to see what it was all about. And COVID had just started, so everyone had just gone into lockdown, and there's lots of news about COVID outbreaks in these kinds of facilities. And so I attended a vigil that I think Danielle, who's there with Stockton Animal Save, hosted. And after that vigil, I had a chance to talk to a worker, and anyway, long story short, went through a process to see what was happening behind those doors that we're not allowed to see. And so why don't I take you right now into seeing some of the footage that didn't make it into Unseen, since a lot of you haven't seen the inside of this place. I just want to take you there right now. So let me see if I can do this. Let's see if this works. And I'll show some. This might be loud. Let's see. Let's see here. I don't know if someone can acknowledge that this is on your screen now.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
That we can't see the content of, but there's
I think that's part of
All right, let's see if I can do this.
there you go. That's better.
Is that better? Okay. All right, here we go. So we are now walking inside the cutting room. It's extremely loud in here normally, so I'm not sure if you can hear the sound. But this is where the bodies of the victims are cut into little pieces. It's very cold in here where the workers have to work. But the real horror is in here inside the drip coolers. This is a morgue. This is where the bodies are kept refrigerated because otherwise they would rot. Hundreds of victims hang, some of them with their faces locked in the terror of their last moments, while blood drips on the floor like a crime scene. The reason they're kept this way is because their muscles are going through rigor mortis just like ours would. This is the real horror that hides in our backyards. These are victims that had no choice. They were born into this world for one reason.
Paul, I think that's your
To be
getting
a,
far away.
and the only reason this abuse happens is because this company wants to make a profit. This company is built on suffering and death. I don't know how we can expect a company like this to care about antibiotic-resistant diseases, zoonotic diseases, or pandemics when they're willing to treat living individuals this way. You can still see the blood, the scars, the cuts, and pieces of missing flesh that have been cut out from them because they were sick. As long as they're able to pass through a just basic inspection, they're sold. These are the pens where suspected sick individuals are supposed to go. When they do end up here, there's a high chance they'll be shot in the head right inside here. But some of them don't even make it to here. In the back, rotting and diseased flesh that's been cut out from them is left on the ground and in open containers. When I worked here, I saw cats pulling flesh from these bins and carrying it off, along with whatever diseases were inside it. The smell is something that I cannot even describe. It makes me want to vomit just thinking about it. These are organs from once living individuals, treated like garbage. A lot of footage from the pens didn't make it into Unseen. Their bodies being treated like objects, dead individuals who had no choice. They were born and brought here and died on the journey, and no attempt is made to find out why. The USDA simply marks them as dead. Sometimes there will be dozens left out in the back. Sometimes they'll be left up to a day, just sitting in the hot, open air. The company considers this normal. And the workers are meant to do this day in and day out as if they don't have emotions, as if they don't have a conscience, without even understanding the risks of the potential diseases they're being exposed to. There's so much of this footage that I don't know if I can bear looking at it, but this is what happens here on a daily basis. I'm just gonna stop it here. I mean, I could fast forward through days and days and days of this footage, but there's something I want to read first. Let me see if I can share this other part here. Let's just share my desktop maybe. Let's see. We did a FOIA request which gave us information about what happened after Unseen was released. And one of those things that we saw was that the company was forced to take corrective action. My question is, How are we supposed to know what's happening in these facilities when the facilities won't tell us? And when the company itself admits it's wrong. Establishment employee is kicking a hog that is already running. Employee is using a rattle paddle overhand to forcefully strike several hogs on top of the haunches. The hogs continue to run away from the paddle, etc. Why is it up to individuals like me to try to bring this to light? Another thing I want to share is this USDA, it's certificate of disposition of tagged, quote unquote, tagged animals. You can see here that there's peritonitis, which is inflammation of the abdomen. It causes severe abdominal pain and fever. Pneumonia, which is a generic symptom of a respiratory disease. Pericarditis, which is an inflamed sac around the heart, which causes chest pain. But we also have arthritis, as if arthritis is a cause of death. And then we have individuals who are just marked dead, and there's no explanation or reason given. This is the official USDA disposition sheet. And if even the USDA itself isn't able or willing to look into what's happening to these individuals, I don't know how we're supposed to trust them. I assume this is still working, and I'd like to play this 2-minute clip. I don't know if someone can give me a sign that this is
So you've been hearing from Raven Deerbrook, the director of Unseen. Thank you so much to everyone who's joining. I'm going to take you down to the other end of the slaughterhouse facility and show you where we are once again, and turn this around so you can see Yosemite Foods. We're here in Stockton, California. This is a huge facility. They previously operated elsewhere in California and closed down that facility, opened this brand new, much larger facility with support in the form of millions of dollars from the state of California, from the Governor's Office of Business and Economic Development, to build this place. And we have previously called attention to the fact that California state money, our tax dollars, are helping fund facilities like this one. And in fact, the other investigation that was featured in a mini documentary by Raven Deerbrook that came out more recently this year, Imperial Dust, that's another facility, a cow slaughterhouse in Brawley, California, in the Imperial Valley of California, that also received around $6 million at that facility to expand, and that's coming from taxpayer dollars to help kill more animals, exploit more workers, traumatize them, and pollute our environment, suck California's water up, suck California dry, and exacerbate the mega drought that we're experiencing right now because of how much water animal agriculture consumes, both for feeding animals and in the factory farms where they are bred into existence just to be killed, raised for many, many months, or in some cases years, before they are eventually slaughtered. But also in the process of slaughter itself, it's often a very highly water-intensive operation, both for the process of slaughter. As you might know, chickens are frequently stunned by being dragged through an electrified water bath. So there's a lot of water involved in the slaughter process itself in some operations. And then also to clean these facilities, because as Raven was talking about, they are absolutely filthy. There's blood spilling onto the floor. There's feces, and animals, including humans, often defecate when they're being killed, or just when they're afraid. You know, they're coming on these trucks that, if you've been at vigils, then you know when the trucks of pigs come in, they smell horrible. These pigs have been peeing and pooping along the journey, and just they're dirty, they're unclean. They've never been given the chance to bathe or get themselves clean or any of that. So the stench is horrible. These facilities are filthy, and on a regular basis, they have to be watered, hosed down, and cleaned out. So there's a lot of water going into the operations in animal agriculture, and that's kind of what Imperial Dust was focused on. More of the environmental concerns that we should all have for the sake of our planet and for future generations and for ourselves, most of us, because of the damage that's being caused by the factory farming industry. And so, that's a long topic that Raven was able to dive into very eloquently in just a 10-minute mini documentary, Imperial Dust. But I highly encourage you, Google that and check out Imperial Dust as well as Unseen if you haven't yet. And please share those and help us reach more people, because you saw just now how much footage and how much footage review and work goes into the production of even a short 10-minute documentary. And Raven, she's incredible. She puts so much time and heart and soul and compassion and care into these mini documentaries, but she does it so that people will see it and the victims' stories will be elevated to the world. And she can't do that without people like you spreading the word, watching them, experiencing what she wants you to go through, to see what it's like for these pigs in their final moments, how little of it we can actually imagine and fathom, because we can't experience what they're going through, but we can at least bear witness to it and try to elevate it to the world. And so I'll turn this around and show you this facility again and walk back to the group and ask one more time for folks to please share this live stream. And let me know if you have any questions. Thank you, Beth, for your support. Thank you, Shiloh, for all your comments and engagement and all your support online.
That it would not have been possible without a worker. There's lots of things that haven't been released about this facility. I mean, obviously the facility still exists. So, we're going to hold on to some information that we have as things recover. But at the time, it was only possible because of a worker. And after,
if you feel sympathy, if you feel anger, if you feel moved by seeing Unseen, by seeing this footage from inside Yosemite Foods, then I hope you'll take some kind of action in response to that, to challenge this slaughter industry. Maybe that's just sharing the documentary with someone you know. Maybe it's going to a vigil yourself for the first time if you haven't before. It can be a very powerful experience. There's a couple of people who are here today for their first vigil, and I'm so glad that they came out, that they made that choice, even though it can be scary.
That's often what happens. These workers are kind of thrown under the bus. If there's any issues, there's
Shiloh is asking if any slaughterhouse workers or employees have talked to us. Not today, no. Nobody has come to talk to us today, even though there's employees in there now and police driving by, kind of scoping us out. They have talked to us before, the police, to say pretty routine police things about property and where we can stand, and the employees have a little bit, but I can't remember from previous times what they said exactly.
Okay, sorry, I couldn't hear that. Probably not as well as I should. I do this kind of thing a lot, and mostly that's all behind the scenes. But I'm here and I'm healthy, and so I'm happy that you all have come out. It makes me feel so much better emotionally and mentally when I see you all taking action and bearing witness and being there for the victims. Since I obviously can't be there tonight in person, it really helps to see others out there. Thank you, by the way.
On three, everybody say we love you, Raven.
1, 2, 3.
I love you. Thank you. I love you too. Thanks so much for coming.
So I printed the document from the USDA, the notice of suspension, the one that Raven was talking about. I printed it, not too many times, I have like 10. But if you guys want to read why this place had their business suspended back in 2019, I believe, you can read about it here. It's brutal. It's also bearing witness. Bearing witness is also just reading about the cruelty that happened. So I'll pass them around.
Thanks, Eric. Do you want to say anything, Rocky?
Oh, hi everybody. Yes, we are out here in front of Yosemite Foods slaughterhouse. Just great documentary and speech by Raven. Yeah, and we're just waiting for the trucks to arrive. And you can see here, we don't hear anything or see anything for now, but then you could still just feel just like the air, just like the tension in the air, just how many pigs in the past, during, and in the future, just how much they come through here to be violently, systematically slaughtered. And, you know, right now it feels like it's, we feel powerless sometimes that, you know, we're seeing all this and there's nothing that we could do, but then there's something we could do. And I'm about to explain it in a bit as I'm going to lead a Twitter storm. And yeah, please do pay attention, because not only am I going to have folks here to do the Twitter storm to get this attention on, like, yeah, attention on the internet, but then we want you as well to take action as well. So yeah, with that said, I'm going to take the mic now from Eric, and yeah, go from there.
Well, I'm sorry I interrupted you before that. I forgot you were about to speak, but it was actually perfect because now everyone's primed and ready. So that was Rocky, and he's about to explain a Twitter action. He used the word Twitter storm because we're trying to get something all over Twitter together. So I hope you can do that in addition to sharing, which I'm sure you've all done now because I've asked you so many times. Rocky's going to give us another way that we can help take collective action together.
Okay, cool. Hi, everybody.
Hi, Rocky.
Hey. Oh, actually, hi.
Hello.
Hello.
Hi.
Hi, everyone. Yeah, so great presentation by Raven today. And oh, in case of y'all don't know me, my name is Rocky. I'm an organizer with the Direct Action Everywhere SFA. And I want to thank you first and foremost. Thank you everyone for being here today. I know it's for some people it could be like a 10-minute drive, or for some it's like for 2 hours. But the fact that you're all out here is a testament to just how dedicated we all are, and just how much that even if pigs are just going to be behind the walls, just closed off from us, they know that we're out here for them. And yeah, it's just like really powerful just how we're just able to come together to bear witness and to be there for the pigs and all the animals who are suffering in our extremely brutal species system. Yeah, you see like the footage, and you just see that that there are pigs that come in here, and even then, just knowing that awful places like this exist, and sometimes we feel that it's just disempowered, or we just don't feel we feel powerless. We're seeing all this happen, and there's nothing we can do about it. And what I wanted to let you all know is, like, if you've seen anything in the past, whether it's here or worldwide, there is something we can do about it. And we've seen so many people have taken action to directly stop the violence from happening directly, or sometimes, you don't even have to be there directly. There's a lot that's powerful about speaking up for animals online as well. So that's why this next activity that we are going to do, and just to demonstrate just how powerful social media and taking action online is, I actually want y'all to just take a few seconds right now to take out your phone if you haven't already. And I'm going to lead what is, and I'm pretty sure you all are all aware of this. It is the platform Twitter. It is a social media platform where it's like Instagram, Facebook. This may not be like the biggest platform out there, but then it is a very powerful tool that we have utilized here at DXC and others to grab the attention of politicians, reporters, media, and this is how we've been able to get things to go viral, such as our disruption of games and whatnot. And right now, we have an opportunity to call attention to the injustices that are happening right behind us, right here. And it is not, and our target for tonight is Sean Reyes. For those of you who don't know who Sean Reyes is, he is the general attorney for Utah. He is prosecuting a case against Paul, our good friend Paul right here, as well as Wayne. I know we're in California, and it may be like kind of far away from us. Certainly not far away from us, like that guy. But it may seem far away from us, but no, it's not. It is not. Like what happens in Utah affects us, and vice versa. As Raven mentioned, all of the pigs who are raised in this god-awful facility, this 49 square mile of just this pure Death Star, really, where pigs are systematically tortured, caged, separated from their families, are then raised until they're 6 months old and brought here in the sweltering heat in the summer, in the frigid cold in the winter, brought here to their death. And we want to let them know that. And Sean Reyes, Paul and Wayne went to Utah to expose these injustices, to expose the cruelty happening behind closed doors. And rather than congratulating them, they're being prosecuted. Like, they're being prosecuted for the criminal activity that's happening in what I consider and what I believe to be a criminal enterprise, and that is Yosemite Foods. So what we are going to do here is we're going to do a Twitter storm. We are going to tweet to Sean Reyes and to ask him to basically do the right thing. He has the power right now. He is bringing the charges against Wayne and Paul, and he doesn't have to do that. He could do what he could do right now is he could drop the charges right now and instead fight for the public good, fight for the animals, and hold these animal abusing companies accountable. So, and we can do that by making a few of our hashtag trend, and our hashtag that we're using right now is Smithfield's Death Star. And if you can right now, go on Twitter and tweet at Sean Reyes, and his handle is Sean Reyes UT, I believe. And to give you an example of what tweet that you can write, you can go to my profile. Sorry, I should have given you a handout, but if you go to my handle, Mr. Green SF, it's exactly how it's spelled, M-I-S-T-E-R, Green SF, you'll see a tweet that's pinned, and you'll notice that in this tweet I tagged UT Sean Reyes, asking him with a photo of myself with the Right to Rescue sign, letting him know that I'm outside Yosemite Foods right now. And I'm also aware that he is prosecuting two whistleblowers and animal rescuers and asking him to do the right thing, to prosecute animal cruelty instead of animal rescue. And you can do the same as well. So it's very simple. It could be a photo of you. It doesn't have to be. You do have all these lovely signs you could take a photo of. So you could post a photo. You could write a short tweet and make sure to tag Sean Reyes and include the hashtag Smithfield's Death Star. I'm sorry, that's a lot of information, and I know I could go on a ramble sometimes, but does that make sense? All right, does anyone have any questions, by the way?
Is there someone who can take photos of people?
Yeah, how do I get a photo?
Oh,
Yeah, well, of course, you could always ask me, but then I'm pretty sure there are plenty of folks here who are more than happy to take each other's photos. Yeah, please ask me.
On here. I just know how to get it up.
Oh,
Linda, I can help.
yeah, our good friend Curtis can help. And also, there are other folks here who are savvy with Twitter as well. But otherwise, you could ask me. Yeah, it's good that we in the community are very well versed in Twitter, not only because it's a powerful tool to grab the attention of politicians, but this is not going to be the last time we'll use Twitter.
when the Utah Convergence is coming up this coming September 9th to the 17th, we'll be heading to Utah. And even then, we will ask the world to be on Twitter, on social media as well, to really spread the message of our actions and get the attention of Sean Reyes out there. So it's very important that we stay connected, get on Twitter, and really take action wherever we can. Again, thank you very much for being out here. But even if you can't be out here, there's still so much impact that you can make by elevating the voices on the animals online. So that's really all I have to say. And thank you again. And yeah.
So I see that Shiloh kind of put the basic instructions in a comment there, but the idea is if we're all tweeting at the same person, he'll be getting a lot of messages and feeling the pressure to not just drop charges against Paul and Wayne, which would be nice. Our friends don't want to go to prison, but more importantly, to do something about the abuse of so many animals. 1.2 million pigs or 1.3 million pigs, I can't remember which one, are raised for slaughter from Smithfield Circle 4 farms every single year. So you hear a disturbing number like 2,000 pigs being killed here at Yosemite Foods every day, and it's shocking, but a factory farm like Circle 4, which is sending pigs here, they have so many thousands of animals on site at any one time, and they are shipping them off to facilities, including Yosemite Foods and others like Farmer John in California, which recently announced that Smithfield recently announced that that facility would be closing in early 2023, which might seem like great news, and I hope that it is. I hope it's a step in the right direction, but it's also a sign that Smithfield is trying to walk away from the damage that they've done to the LA River, to the hundreds of workers who have been traumatized working there, who now have to find new jobs, to all of the pigs that they've killed there. And, that's not okay for them just to walk away with all this damage that they've caused and never be held accountable for their crimes, never be held accountable for the sake of justice for their millions of victims, or for the progress that needs to be done to clean up their mess just for the sake of the environment and for future generations. So they really need to be held accountable, and that's why, more than just dropping these charges for Paul and Wayne, we really want the Attorney General, Sean Reyes, Utah's Attorney General, who's the one filing the charges against Paul and Wayne and covering up cruelty at Smithfield. It was his office that filed the motion to not allow any evidence of animal cruelty from Smithfield's facility in the trial, to say, no, we don't think the jury should be able to see this because it will, quote, arouse horror in the jury, which is precisely why it needs to be seen, but that's why his office successfully motioned to have it prohibited from trial. And so we need to show our dismay and our frustration and tweet at Sean Reyes, which it's not just at Sean Reyes, there's Utah in there, UT, so look at Shiloh's comment or look at Rocky's tweet. But essentially, we want to show him that the public supports animal rescue, the public supports animal rights. We want to see companies that abuse animals be held accountable, and we want to create a better food system and a better future for everyone's sake. And that's why we're asking him to do the right thing here. Instead of sending nonviolent whistleblowers and animal rescuers to prison, target the people on top in this horrible company who are allowing so many victims to go silently to their death every single day because the world isn't hearing about it. And when people come along who help bring it to the surface, like Paul and Wayne and Raven and so many other brave people, they face prosecution and potentially years in prison. And that's going to chill the movement, and that's going to prevent change from happening. And that's why these are really important trigger moments for us to demand a change and to demand a response from the entire world, as many people as possible. We want to capture worldwide attention with this trial and with stories and documentaries like Unseen, because we need people power. We have the authorities corrupted by money and politics and working to cover up animal cruelty at facilities like Smithfield and not really take seriously what's happening at Yosemite Foods or anywhere else that we report, for that matter. And so it's really up to us, the individuals, through people power, to take action. And I know one tweet might not seem like enough pressure. One whole Twitter storm, even 1,000 people tweeting at Sean Reyes might not seem like enough, but over time all those things add up, and if we can tap into millions of people, then we can do so much more. So right now we're working to build towards a mass movement, and all of these stories along the way and all of these moments are building up pressure and building up a base of people, and we need to get our narrative into the world and help people think about animals differently and see what they deserve is not to end up at a facility like this to be hung upside down and to be slaughtered, but to be rescued, just like Lily and Lizzie were when they were shivering and cold and malnourished and injured and covered in blood in Smithfield Circle 4 Farms and taken to a sanctuary to get veterinary care and to live their lives in peace. That's what animals deserve, and that's the narrative that we need to get out there. And we can start that by tweeting at Sean Reyes. So I hope you'll do that Twitter storm action and also share this live stream. And also, if you have any questions, ask Raven, because she joined our live stream. So she's here to be able to answer questions, and she will also be in Utah for the trial, I believe. Correct me if I'm wrong, Raven. maybe she's got other plans, but I assume she'll be there for what she can because she's so dedicated. So I hope that you'll register to join us at the trial, for the trial convergence that we're organizing, and take part in that. We will be doing many things: vigils, actions, court support, community building events, all of that at this trial convergence. And yes, Raven confirmed. So come meet Raven or hang out with her if you've already met her, and let's really capture the world's attention as best we can during this trial, as well as support our friends Paul and Wayne as they go through something pretty scary. So people are on their phones doing their Twitter actions, helping one another, which is great. If you aren't on Twitter yet, you should get on Twitter. And if you aren't on our Signal chat to take actions like this one, then you should join that as well. But a really good resource in general to find out all this information is righttorescue.com, where you can learn more about the case in Utah and our other animal rescue cases that are ongoing all over the country. And you can find out different ways to take action to support each of them. So there's, this action team for the Utah case on there, but there's also press hits and defendant bios and information about our other animal rescue cases and just information about the right to rescue in general. So if you haven't checked out that website, I definitely encourage you to check it out, and also to sign the petition at righttorescue.com. I'm talking a lot, it makes my throat dry. Thanks, Shiloh, for commenting both those links. And I'll mention this link again that we put up here on this banner. If you want to see a look inside this building, inside this facility, you can watch the documentary that Raven produced in 2020. dxc.io/unseen is the link to view that. That actually takes you to the full web page with more information, but the YouTube video is embedded there, so you can just click on watch this on YouTube or watch it there. Yeah, Raven, it's awesome to see how many people came out. I wasn't expecting what I think is like 30 people, but I'll check attendance later. It's a big group. And multiple people here tonight have already told me that this is their first vigil. People who are really wanting to attend a vigil, and we're glad that one was organized so that they could come out to their first vigil and get more comfortable with, well, what's always going to be an uncomfortable experience, I think, being at a slaughterhouse, but to do it with so many supportive friends and people who also care makes it a really good experience.
Inside of the car, sorry.
and with safety marshals keeping us safe. Yeah, that also is another place you can watch Unseen. Raven just commented the link for Facebook, and it's pretty amazing that there's over 3 million views there, and thanks to PETA for cross-posting it and helping us reach more people too.
Don't chain yourself to the truck.
I don't think there's any more planned content, and people will just be hanging out, bearing witness, waiting to see if trucks come. So I'll probably wrap up the live stream fairly soon. But I would love to hear if anyone has any comments, questions, suggestions, or feedback, or anything like that in the comments that is for me or for Raven about this facility or about the Utah trial or any of that we could answer. So I'll give people a minute to see if people have any questions. And just a reminder that we're in Stockton, California, about an hour and a half or 2 hours from the East Bay. There's a lot of traffic. That's why it takes so long. And this is a facility that kills 2,000 individuals every single day. I can't really show you the best through these bars, which is why they exist, to keep us out, to protect the interests of this business. But this is a facility that received around $2 million from the state government here in California to open a much larger slaughterhouse than it previously had, to expand its operations, to kill more individuals. And that's a whole campaign in and of itself that would be an amazing victory to get the state of California to stop funding these facilities, to stop sending our taxpayer dollars or any money at all to an industry that is harming all of us, that is hurting so many animals, that is hurting so many workers, that is polluting our planet, that is spreading diseases like we know this facility is because of the footage that we just watched earlier tonight, some of the clips from the investigation here. The dead animals who were left outside for multiple days, intermingling with wild animals like crows and cats. That's a real health risk for all of us. And our government is actively funding it. California has also recently been allocating more money in the budget for plant-based school lunches and such for public schools, which is kind of ironic. It's a great step, but it's ironic to do that at the same time that the same government is sending money, millions of dollars, to facilities like this one in the animal agriculture industry. If we already know that kids should be eating plant-based meals, if we already know it's healthy and it's more compassionate and it's more sustainable and more just and just a better choice all around, then why is our state still propping up the animal agriculture industry instead of helping us transition to a more humane and sustainable plant-based food system? California could be leading the way in that effort instead of continuing to funnel money into the pockets of some of the biggest animal agriculture industry leaders.
That's a good way to put it.
Well, I'm not seeing any questions, so maybe people don't have any questions, and you've gotten all the links to learn more already. So you can go to righttorescue.com to learn more about all the cases, dxc.io/unseen to learn more and see more inside this slaughterhouse here, Yosemite Foods. You can also go to dxc.io/Imperial Dust to watch Raven's recent mini documentary at a California cow slaughterhouse in the Imperial Valley of California. It's another profound, excellent, investigatory mini documentary that shows previously never before seen footage to the world that I highly recommend. I don't know what this comment, "it's not, we have proof," was responding to. Maybe it was something I said, but I can't remember. Sorry. But yeah, if people don't have questions, then I will just wrap up. You can learn more at righttorescue.com. You can check out the documentaries at dxe.io/unseen and dxe.io/Imperial Dust. You can share this live stream. You can tweet at Sean Reyes, the Utah Attorney General, asking him to prosecute Smithfield instead of animal rescuers. And yeah, you can continue to follow our pages and hear all the important updates about actions and legal updates and new investigations and rescues coming out all the time and things that we're doing. So I hope you'll continue to follow along and stay plugged in to our work that way. I don't actually even know exactly what time it is. Let me see. It's almost 10. I'm not sure if any trucks will come through while we're still here. If they do, then we'll make sure to get photos and videos and try to share the victims' experience beyond just the people here today too. But I'm going to wrap up the live stream now. And thank you all so much for joining us online.